funniest memories that I remember was playing Mario Kart 64. Now, to this day, it's probably my favorite racing game of all time. That game is just so good and so much fun. I had memories of we didn't even play. We weren't even playing the racing part of the game. We would just start a race with 2 players or 4 players, and we would go around and try to find things to do and find things like Easter eggs in the level if they were there. Like I remember on the Sherbert level, we would go around and screw with the penguins. Like we would try to get stars and just run through as many penguins as we could. And then if you run through the penguins, they start spinning in circles. We would try to like jump to the middle of the pond or the middle of the frozen lake and get to that giant penguin that's sliding around. We would do things like that, just fun things. Like there was, I believe it was Mario's Raceway or something. Me and my friend would like actually try to bump each other into the giant mushroom there. And one time I got glitched into the mushroom and I couldn't get out, and it was just funny things that we found out that you could do. Like we would play tag on the game. Like we would start a race with just us two and we would play tag and try to hit each other. Like I remember we would play on Banshee Boardwalk or whatever, and like my friend would like hide under this thing, and I don't remember. It was just fun stuff like that. We weren't even playing the game it was meant to be played, but we would just have fun. And I have memories of that. When we actually did race, we had 3 people there, myself, my friend, and my other friend. And I have a friend named Danny and a friend named Lewis, and we were playing on Calamari Desert. It was just us 3. And I remember that it was going towards the end of the race, and it was between me and Danny. My other friend was way behind. But it was between me and Danny, and I was playing with Yoshi at the time. Now I play as Peach always, but anyway, I played as Yoshi back then. I believe he played as Bowser or Donkey Kong, I can't remember. But we were neck to neck at the end of the race, and I would hop. You could jump in that game, and I would jump to try to speed myself up. In a sense, I guess I thought that maybe you can speed yourself up, or maybe I could jump ahead a little bit. And I was doing that all the way across towards the end of the finish line, and it went to that whistle, and it whistles when you cross the finish line. And we were neck and neck, and it said first place for me. And I kid you not, I beat him by 1 millisecond. 1 millisecond. And he was fucking pissed. It was so funny. And I'm not even kidding. He slammed the controller down, and we were sitting crisscross like I am now. And he like jumped in the air, like off the ground, and he ended up sitting on his finger the wrong way or something. And he ended up like breaking his finger. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you at all. And it was so funny. He jumped up, sat on his finger, and of course breaking his finger, he jumped up real quick after that and like just crawled out of the room as like the speed of sound. He just crawled out of the room as fast as, like in a split second. It was a flash of light because he hurt his finger. And God, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's just a fond memory that I remember playing Mario Kart 64. Man, I have another memory. Back in like '97, GoldenEye was the biggest thing coming out, and I asked for the game for Christmas. And Christmas comes around, and I get a bunch of N64 games. Of course, I asked this time for a specific game, and that was GoldenEye. And my mom, GoldenEye was new, granted, back then, and back then new games were like $60, $70 for new 64 games, and I don't know that the price was too high or every place was sold out. It could have been either, but my mom didn't get me GoldenEye, and it crushed me because I specifically asked for it. But instead I did get a bunch of other N64 games that she got from a used video game store, and they were just the cartridges, but she ended up getting me these games because she didn't know anything about them. I didn't really ask for these games, but I did get them, and I ended up growing to like them because you play what you can get, and they were actually pretty fun games. Some of them were a couple stinkers, but I grew to love them. One of the games, which is one of those stinkers, was War Gods. I believe it was made by Midway, and I believe it was like the blueprint to a 3D Mortal Kombat game. Mortal Kombat 4, I think it was. I guess it was their guinea pig for seeing if 3D fighting games would work. And War Gods was that, and it was a clunky game, and it was kind of ugly, but I enjoyed it. It has all these mythical gods you can play as, like Anubis and this voodoo guy and a couple girls and some other thing, and it's a 3D fighting game. I kind of liked it, but it wasn't that great nowadays if you go back and play it. I also got Mace, which is another fighting game, very underrated. Nobody ever talks about this game. This game's graphics are very, very good. Even to today's standards, I think it looked really good. If you go back and play some N64 games, some of them look terrible. But this game was actually really, really looked great for its time. It wasn't very polygony at all, and the fighting was actually pretty cool. And I say go back and play the game if you can find it anywhere. Mace is a very fun fighting game. I also got Blast Corps, which is one of my favorite N64 games. It's kind of like a weird adventure, kind of a demolition kind of game where you play as different vehicles. I think they can transform into like robots and stuff like that, and you can you have different objectives, like to destroy the different parts of the city and stuff like that. It's very vague to me, but I remember Blast Corps is a very, very fun game, and I remember just driving around and exploring. I also got Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, a pretty fun first-person shooter that I never finished it or anything, but I just remember getting a couple levels in and just kind of getting bored with it. But I thought it was still a pretty good game. I also got what did I get? What else did I get? A bunch of mediocre-ish kind of games that weren't the big blockbusters like Zelda and Mario, but they were still fun games that I remember playing and having pretty good times with. I'm trying to remember what else I got. I got this weird F1 racing game. I'm not sure if it was an import or not, but I just remember it had an N64 game, and it had this other gray looking square underneath it, so it made the N64 game like this big. But it still played on the N64, and it was kind of a weird racing game. I don't remember much about that, but I think it was an import if I'm not mistaken. I just know it was a weird shaped game. But I got quite a bit of N64 games for Christmas, but I didn't get GoldenEye, so it was kind of disappointing. Fast forward a couple months, and I did end up getting GoldenEye, and that was the game that took up a lot of time, and me and my friends played that for months and months, day and night, hours and hours a day during the summer, and we played the hell out of it. Tons of different matches we would have, paintball mode. I remember that vividly. We'd always have paintball mode on because of all the colors, spray, and everything. There's one particular memory that I remember playing with me. Keep in mind, during all these memories, there was at least 3, 4, 8 kids in the house at all times. None of them my brothers or sisters, just all neighbors and my friends playing. But I remember playing GoldenEye, and I believe we're playing a team game or something. Anyway, I had a guy, we made a truce or something, me and my friend Nick, and we were playing on the level, I forget what it's called. I think it's the Caverns or something. No, it's not the Caverns. It might have been, I don't know, there's a level with a vent that you can go through. Anyway, I'm going through this vent, and my friend goes behind me, Nick, he's on my team, or we made a truce. And we're playing golden gun or something, or we had a mode where he had a golden gun. And I'm going through the vent ahead of him, and he says something to me along the lines of, "Sorry, I just don't like you anymore." and he shoots me in the back of the head with the golden gun, and I die instantly. And for some reason, everyone around it that's sitting there, we just all crack up laughing, and it's the funniest thing at the time ever. And he just kills me for no reason. I don't know why. It was funny as hell. And of course, I'm sitting right next to him. I probably throw my controller at him or something, or chase him out the house and down the road or something. It's just a really funny and great memory that I remember having playing GoldenEye 64. So that's it for this edition of Video Game Memories. This is the N64 slash mostly N64 memories that I remember playing. Thank you all for joining me, and I will catch you guys later.